Hello, hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. We are very, very happy to welcome you this week. And before we begin, as we always do, we've told you this show is your show. So we have to begin by thanking our subscribers. Our numbers are going up slowly. Thanks to you, our subscribers. Without you, we will not really have a show, which is why we want to always say thank you very, very much. You make this show possible. And you also do a good job of sending us content every week. We share this content on this show, and we say thank you to all our subscribers who not only subscribe to the show, but they also send us good content we use. We are very far in Washington, D.C., the capital of the free and brave world, but you can see that we know what is happening in the motherland because you feed us with this information. Sometimes people feel like, oh, how do these guys know what is happening? It's because you, our subscribers, feed us with a lot of information. In addition, we want to thank our viewers. If you are viewing this show for the first time and you've not yet subscribed, we're asking you to proceed to subscribe to this show. Subscribe, and tell all your friends to subscribe. If you are our customers, and we have so many customers, and we're saying thank you to our customers. Without you, we cannot really make a living. Without you, our businesses will not be able to thrive. But our businesses are thriving because of you, our customers. You are always right, and we always suggest that you give us feedback. Based on your feedback, we always know the direction to take. Sometimes people are always surprised why our businesses always succeed. It's because we rely on you, our customers. You tell us what to do, and we follow what you ask us to do, and we do it. In return, you are very, very pleased and happy, and you support our businesses. We've told you in the past few weeks that we are hosting a medical event, which is a virtual conference on COVID-19. We're going to be bringing a whole lot of medical doctors, top doctors, and other healthcare providers, nurse practitioners, nurses, and other healthcare firms. We're going to bring everybody so that all of us can network and share solutions on the COVID-19, particularly those who are in business. As we've told you before, we want you to be our bed dog, okay? Bed dog. We are like hunters. We are in business to hunt for opportunity. And we need dogs that can move around and pick up the birds we shoot. So you are our bird dog. So when we shoot a bird, our dog goes and picks it and brings it to us. That's the way we want to start using some of you guys. You want to be part of our network, so you be our bird dog. We shoot a bird, you pick it and bring it to us. We create opportunity. We are looking for a lot of real estate to buy. We're looking for buildings to buy so that we can use them in our healthcare businesses. If you find a building that looks interesting and we buy it, we're going to pay you a commission, whether you're a realtor or not. If you find a building, we'll bring you in as a partner and we're going to buy the building together. And we have our friends who have a lot of money. They are willing to finance these businesses, and they're just waiting for us to look for the buildings and present to them. We're already doing that. In fact, we've financed a lot of buildings last year, and we're working on financing many buildings this year. And we usually assign a lot of these buildings to our business partners, especially some of the doctors and nurse practitioners who are working with us. We submit this to them so that way they can work. So we are asking you to join our team so that you can do very, very well. Do not forget about the medical conference. It's coming on February 26th. So you can participate wherever you are in the world. You can be in Washington, you'll be able to participate. You can be in Africa, you'll be able to participate. You can be in China, you'll be able to participate, okay? So that's much of what we can really give you in terms of house duties. So let's move straight to our news segment. What is going on in Africa this week? Oh, a whole lot is happening in Africa, and we're going to share all this information with you the way you always like us do. We're going to talk about Ambazonia, La République du Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Ghana, Guinea, Liberia, Malawi, Mali, and Nigeria. So we have our plate is full. So stay tuned to a whole lot of news that we're going to share with you right now. Before we get to the news segment, we want to present our book review. This week, we're asking you to read a book. The book is available on Amazon.com. It's titled The Greedy Barbarian. It's written by a Ugandan author called Kakwenza. Kakwenza is a prisoner of conscience. He has just been arrested by the government of Yoweri Museveni. He's in custody now. He's a prisoner of conscience because he's been in prison because he tweeted unflattering comments about Museveni and his son, Papa Doc, Baby Doc. You remember Haiti? Papa Doc and Baby Doc. So Kakwenza was making fun of Yoweri Museveni and his son. So they didn't find this flattering. So they had to lock him up and torture him. I think a few days ago we saw pictures of Kakwenza in court. I had talked to Kakwenza a few months ago, and I was just reading an article he had written, and I really like his writing style. I'm like, oh, this is a very good writer. He writes very well. So I decided to chat with him on WhatsApp, and we chatted for like a few minutes. I didn't know this is really going to happen to him, but that's the fate of freedom fighters. When you fight for freedom, you should expect dictators to try to intimidate you and make fun of you, but that's okay. That's what you have to bear as a freedom fighter. So to support Kakwenza, we're asking you to read his book titled The Great Barbarian. So Yoweri Museveni is really a barbarian, the way he treats this guy. So Kakwenza uses satire as a form of lampooning this government. So he did a very good job in the book. Then when Museveni and his son saw these comments on Twitter, they didn't find it funny, so they decided to shake him down. So right now he's going through a whole lot. So we pray for him, and we're asking the international community, especially the PEN enterprise, to intervene so that Kakwenza can be released on time so he can rejoin his family. He's a very young person, so we think dictatorship cannot really stand, because the African youth of today, they are like gentle giants. They are rising up against dictators, and they are rising up against our colonial masters, the former colonial masters, especially France. A lot of the colonial guys have left Africa, but France is hell-bent on not leaving. So it looks like the only choice we have right now is to push France out of Africa. Without that, France is not going to leave. And that's what the African youth, I look at them like gentle giants. They are pushing away, they are routing out France in Francophone Africa. And we think they are doing a great job. So let's see what is happening now in Mali. Normally, I start with Ambazonia, but with a twist, I take you now to Mali. You know, Mali's former president, IBK, just died a few days ago. But Assimi Goïta has taken over the reins of power, and he's really dealing with France and ECOWAS. France is hiding behind ECOWAS to destabilize this African country. But Assimi Goïta is a very clever military guy, and other African countries that can support him, then he's making things tough because they want to really break him down so that he cannot really survive as a government, but he knows what he's doing. So he has fired the guy from the central bank who will not really listen to the revolutionaries. So now he's trying to look for a way now to get France out. He has brought Russia in. And today we're going to also share a video with you. The Prime Minister of Mali, Mr. Shogel, is talking about the predicament of the army of Mali. How can you be the army of Mali? Then France will not let you travel or fly over your own territory. They will tell you, oh, this is out of bounds. Part of Mali is out of bounds to the army of Mali. How can this be? And that's what Prime Minister Shogel is saying. This cannot stand, and that's why the government of Assimi Goïta has decided that this cannot stand and France should get out.
La lettre qui a été envoyée à l'État français le 11 janvier 2013 indique clairement appui aérien et en renseignement. Il n'était pas prévu des militaires français sur notre terre. Ils l'ont respecté à Kona, à Gao, arrivé à l'extrême nord du pays, ils ont bloqué l'armée malienne. Ils ont amené 4000 militaires français avec un budget de 1 milliard de francs CFA par jour. Ils ont fait venir d'autres Africains. Ils ont fait venir la MINUSMA, interdit à l'armée malienne d'accéder à une partie de son territoire, alors qu'ils proclament que c'est pour recouvrer l'intégrité du territoire. Donc il y a un discours apaisant, lénifiant, en attendant le réveil brutal, et la réalité que nous voyons, c'est on arrive jusqu'à nous interdire de survoler des parties de notre territoire. Il y a quelques mois, quand on a massacré les gens à Tassiga, notre armée a appris qu'il y a des groupes de terroristes qui sont en train de s'organiser pour venir dans la zone. On a voulu faire voler un aéronef pour aller surveiller, mais on nous a dit non, c'est la zone d'entraînement nocturne de Takuba. Vous croyez qu'on va rester dans ça? Ce gouvernement qui est en place, avec le colonel Assimi Goïta à la tête, a décidé que nous n'allons plus demander d'autorisation à qui que ce soit pour survoler notre territoire. Nous allons nous donner les moyens, et nous les avons aujourd'hui. Dieu merci. À moins de 7 mois de la rectification de la traîne, nous avons aujourd'hui les moyens de survoler, aller partout sur notre territoire sans autorisation.
Then you can also hear a lot of Malians protesting and telling France to get lost. Already, they can beat their chest.
Hey, yo, Shay, I thought you was gonna take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy's shape. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, back refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing. No waiting, this man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
In my language, we have a saying that whenever you see a little bird dancing on a tree, know that its master drummer is hiding in the bush nearby. So when you see the Malians making noise, it's because the Russian mercenaries have come to protect them. And they are using the Russian mercenaries now to kick France out of Mali. So that's exactly what is happening. When they are beating their chests and dancing, they are dancing confidently because Russia is there supporting them. The Wagner group, part of the group brought in by Vladimir Putin, is really doing this. And, well, we may say we're replacing one master for another. Well, Russia has never been a colonial master, so we cannot really fault them. At least if they can help the people of Mali to kick France out, that will be a second African country where France has been kicked out. We told you about the Central African Republic in a few months that France was kicked out. Touadéra is not really a nice guy, but at least he has kept France at bay. We love that because France is out of the Central African Republic. Soon, France will also be out of Mali. And this is what is happening. Soon, France will be out of Guinea. So France is going to lose power in all these former colonies. Soon, France also will be out in Burkina Faso. We talked to you about Burkina Faso last week. We talked about Colonel Emmanuel Zungrana, the poet and philosopher. But this day, we were informed that there has been rumbling of coup d'etats. It looks like soldiers were mutinying in this part of the world. And you can see the pictures we're going to share with you today. The soldiers are not really happy. There is insecurity. And the people are also clashing with the police because they feel like the army is not really doing a good job to protect them against jihadis. Jihadis are fighting for resources. The French are fighting for resources. So they really want the French army to get out of the Sahel. And they're kicking the hell out of the French army. They want them to get out. Macron should get out with his army. And that's what the people want. They want France to get out. Then we'll move to Ambazonia, because that's where we normally start our show. Well, Ambazonia has really done a great job. The disunity is changing. on the ground. In fact, some of the forces like FM No Pity, they are working to bring the forces, the revolutionary forces together so that the people can fight the common enemy, La République. And you can really see General No Pity, Field Marshal No Pity in a lot of videos we're going to share with you this week. In the first video, you see Field Marshal No Pity with his rallying cry. He's rallying his people, he's telling them about their successes in Sabga, where they were able to destroy some of the military vehicles from La République, and they were able to kill a lot of soldiers of La République. La République continues killing civilians in cities. The Ambazonia restoration forces are in the bush fighting. So the soldiers are afraid to go to the bush to confront these Ambazonia guys. They just mass in one area, then they decide to go after a target. But now, the Amba restoration forces are very, very nimble and agile. They don't stand in one place. They destroy a lot of La République military vehicles. And the latest event I'm going to share with you, you're going to see a harvest by Field Marshal No Pity with his boys. You see what they did. They were able to destroy a very big military vehicle from La République. There were at least 10 soldiers, well armed, the best, the finest from La République. They better kill all of them. First, 6 were dead in the vehicle. Then the other 4 were brought out and killed like animals. And you can see their helmets and their guns that were seized. The other ones just burned to ashes. So take a look at the picture of the harvest from the Ambazonia Restoration Forces.
The 16, where the lion them will be talk about will lay ambush at the Sabga Hill when a Major General No Pity with a Jaguar. That means the corps them where them be there around, na a detachment from the Marines, when are their land force of Bambalang, and the one that were moving from the Jaguars, when of a Bamising. After a fierce battle between the ARFs and the thieves them, we been from the Povia Bartolomeo, don't create them, now wait it this way, then we bring them out. As when if you see, gun them plenty, we know they count them. As if you see, make una look and fine, make Ambazonia then look them. Gun proof them they for down, helmet them day. Now BIR them not be picking them first class B them. From the guns them where them they for down una fit see am. And No Pity itself, FM No Pity, the Major General where now the king, if we don't talk am, no one day no they will go buy gun again. We will collect them from them. No day, una see, na machine this. We will check am say, who shall go ever can see am, we take them from them. We never buy them. And we go use them for collect more. Now that, we take them all we granite them for day. We not go buy them, we go already collect them. As we never see them never down plenty. This very mark, then never down now 4 of them. We never see them, them be this. And this one for talk for that Yaoundé regime. If they like for the loss they are picking them every day, make them continue for the lie, for the war, say everything be normal. As the people go for United Nations, if people in the Povia Bartolomeo like them for go lie, if the United Nations like them for keep a blind eye to wait where it happen, it means that they like them for the see corpses every day. As we have see them, now 10 army them be there for inside moto, 10 bees them. From the helmet them, 6 don't burn. From this gun prove them, 6 don't burn. From this gun them, no one never lost. We collect all those. And for the motor them, when I gun at them, we burn all those. We collect machine them, now them be this. We never buy one. Because we collect them, and at the beginning be this. As in the strong head, as days and they go, as days and they go, as and they burn, months and they go, we continue that so. And even if this struggle be say it go again, now for 25, 30, 35 years, we go forge ahead. And by that time, for stop them, it go hard until they do what we will talk them. Yeah, make the world know. Make United Nations then see them. This gun they not be gun where they would get them, we kill them, not kill them. Yeah. If una see am, una keep a blind eye, people go to die every day. When una come, una key innocent Ambazonians, una label them as Ambazonia fighters. Una see am, na beat and this way fighters them don't catch them, then slaughter like foul them. Yeah, if una want them to stop the bloodshed, una go to a negotiation table. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching the harvest from the Ambazonia Resurrection Forces. This is what happens when the Republic doesn't want to negotiate. La Republic is headstrong. They don't want to listen to the voice of reason. There is some form of what Frantz Fanon calls cognitive dissonance. When there's a reality and you don't want to accept this reality, you keep arguing, but the reality is facing you. But you keep arguing and arguing and arguing. And that's why Einstein says this is when a guy becomes really stupid. Because when you keep doing the same thing and getting a negative result, but you're not ready to change, then it means you're stupid. And I would say La Republic government is stupid because they don't want to listen to the voice of reason. So you can see the video that we're sharing with you now. The next, we're going to take you to another video. You can see the way the Ambazonia Resurrection Forces are really playing their game. Okay, they are moving around. They don't really they have really messed up the AFCON competition.
Let him that. You. Shoot, man. Shoot again. Shoot. Shoot it. Come on, man, shoot them. Shoot it, man. I put it on finish. Aye. I put it on finish. I don't know. No mercy. Aye. Me watch that. Look that gun. Who that gun so you don't hook? Get them. Run. Tell your magazine. Run. Let them do the goal. Come. See them, do them. Oh boy, They don't run.
So now, as much as La Republic is moving with a lot of soldiers around, militias around, but they've been able to strike fear in the heart of a lot of the players. So a lot of the exercises did not really take place. And a lot of people are not going to the games. So people were saying that, well, this time the tournament is really a fiasco because they're not going to make money. People are giving tickets to attend the matches and they don't want to go to the field because they are afraid. So it means the Ambazonians have really won a victory over La Republique. Okay, so let's really praise the Ambazonia guys. They've really won a victory over La Republique. And this says, and you can see it yourself, when you look at the pictures tell you a very, very good story. But we also want to say we give our hearts to prisoners of conscience of Ambazonia who are in dungeons in La Republique. They are torturing them, we know it, but our hearts and minds go to them. Sisiku Ayoktabe, the Niraten, Mancho BBC, and all the others. We cannot forget you, and we keep feeling your pain. The world is hearing about you, and we're sharing your plight with the entire world. So just keep heart, it will be well. Next, we'll move now to La Republique. There's a whole lot happening in La Republique. You're going to see, like, they make a whole lot of noise about the AFCON games, but the game itself is a failure because a lot of people are not attending those games. Then you can even see La Republique doing what they do best, dictatorship. See the way they are using water cannons to spray most of the people. Take a look. You see the water cannons, they're spraying all over. Then you see that these people don't even have value for property. You see vehicles burning. If you were people who have to be beaten up, the soldiers will rush to come and beat them up. But when they need fire extinguishers to put out fire, which that is burning property, nobody comes. Where are the soldiers? They only come when they have to suppress the people. But when there's a fire, they don't come. You look at a fire of cars burning, Another fire which we also want to bring to your attention is the fire of the Live nightclub in Bastos, in Yaoundé. We understand over 17 people died, and this is not really good. Then, of course, somebody also sent us some pictures of a ghastly accident in Idea, and a lot of people died. So our hearts go to those families, because whenever people die as Christians, we feel their pain and we say this is not good. So you can see exactly what is happening. Then, of course, you can take a look at these ghastly pictures and you ask yourself, what is really happening? Well, it looks like much of what is happening in La République is things are really falling apart. Things are falling apart, and you can see that the center is not holding anymore. Then the people also are no longer at ease. Why? Because the arrow of God is pointing at most of these evildoers. So they need a man of the people to come and save them. And this is why Fima Shanopiri is there to try to save these people. Then we now go to La République's big boys. It looks like, as they say, there's a tide in the affairs of men when taken out of the flood. Amugu Belinga, that's a guy you guys must have heard a whole lot about. We hear he likes to marry a lot of women, and he marries a lot of women. We even hear he sees the wives of some of our Anglophone guys. But today, it looks like he has fallen out of favor. This guy is the owner of Vision 4 televisions, and he's a very successful entrepreneur. It looks like he picked a fight with some of the big guys in the BR regime, and they're trying to cut him down to size. He just celebrated his marriage. Before, he was just like an untouchable. So we have videos we can show you of Amogu Belinga. Then you see him bragging that whoever is trying to play games with him, he's going to trash him. But what did they do? They prevented him from traveling, so he's now locked up. He cannot move out of the country, so they are watching. What is going to happen? We can tell you that this is a symptom of a government that is crumbling. Already, the Betis are going to start fighting among themselves, because the way we see it, we give Mr. Biya just 6 months. In 6 months, this government is going to start fighting. All those Betis are going to start fighting. So strategically, the other Cameroonians are just positioning themselves. When the Betis fight and kill themselves, then the people from the north will come in, the people from the Bamileke Western region will come in, then the Anglophones will come in for the spoils of war. And that's the strategy we see happening in this part of the world. They're just laying in wait and waiting, okay? So just know that this is what's going to happen.
Is the COVID-19 crisis sweeping and stressing you out? Are you looking for smart answers, latest information from health experts, newest tips from doctors? Here's Dr. Wilma Huntz-Watts, the super tech doctor, the keynote speaker of the Alexia Corporation's Telehealth Telemedicine Virtual Conference, a free event scheduled on February 26, 2022. Interested? Then come for networking opportunities, giveaway freebies, special offers, Q&A sessions, learning and business guides, free videos and transcripts. Don't ignore COVID-19. Don't make the worst mistake others are making. Plan to attend the virtual medical conference. Discover Alexia HTC, America's newest EMR/EHR application, shaking things up in the telehealth, telemedicine space.
Next, we leave La République Cameroon, we'll go to Ghana. We've been focusing on Ghana this week because we heard about a mine explosion. So many people lost their lives, and we say we are really sorry, and we give thanks to God for the lives that were lost. We know God knows best. We cannot question the ways of God. A lot of people lost their lives. We hear a motorcycle ran under a truck that was carrying explosives, and you can see the devastation. The devastation is so far and wide. So they say 17 people died, but we suspect more people died, because when we look at the degree of destruction, it's too enormous. And we feel sorry for the Ghanaians who lost their lives there today. Then we move to Guinea. We understand that Mamadi Doumbouya is still running the country, but he has appointed a transitional council made up of politicians to try to manage the transition. But no deadline has been given when they would relinquish power to civilians. So that's in the works, and we just hope things work well in that part of the world. Then in Liberia, we're told about insecurity and armed robbers becoming a problem, and you can see pictures of people who were killed because of a terrible incident. So you can take a look at that. Then we have a story on Malawi. You remember Lazarus Chakwera became president, a Christian, and would think that he would try to clean the place of fraud and corruption, but the people are resisting his efforts, and it's not pretty. What we see there is not really pretty, and we feel sorry for the people of Malawi. And next, we move to Nigeria. Nigeria, everybody is looking at 2023, the presidential elections that will take place next year. But all the politicians are jockeying for position. You had Tinubu going to IBB to ask for support. Former President Obasanjo is saying he doesn't want old people to run, but Atiku is out there trying to tell people about his candidacy. But the people think he's old. They think he represents the same old politics that Mr. Buhari has brought to them. So right now, they need new blood to be infused into the veins of the Nigerian system. But is this going to happen? Most of these old folks have a whole lot of money, according to what most of our Nigerian friends tell us. They have a lot of money, and the youth really wish these rich people can use the money they have to campaign for a young candidate who can really bring change to Nigeria, just the way Barack Obama brought change to America. But will this happen? No, most of these old politicians are very greedy. They only think about themselves, they don't care about the people. So they use rice to give to the people so that they can vote for them. Then when they get into power, they steal all the people's money. That's all what they are good for. So we just watch, and we keep encouraging Nigerians to try to campaign for a youth who can take over the country. We know the old people have a lot of money, but let them start campaigning so that a young person can come to power. We've not heard about Showere. Look at, since he's been locked up, we're not hearing about him anymore. But we wish people like him could really make some noise, and people can even talk about them. Okay, it's really sad because Mr. Buhari continues talking about, I will do something to these terrorists. I will beat the terrorists. I go. But what is happening? This week, I was really dismayed when I saw the picture of a 5-year-old girl who was killed in the north. When the people who kidnapped her realized that she could recognize them, they decided to kill her in cold blood. So this is very, very sad, and we ask ourselves, how can this be happening in a country where there are laws? It's because there's so much laissez-faire. Mr. Buhari just has probably a year or so to go, so he just wants to stay there and do nothing. But the people are dying every day, and insecurity is rife in Nigeria. What can be done? Nigeria needs new blood. New blood. A young person should take over the government of Nigeria. If this happens, it's going to be good for the people of Nigeria and for Africa. We've come to the end of our show, and we thank you very much for watching us and for listening to us. Please tell your friends to watch this show. Share this show with many of your friends. Please do not forget, February 26th, we have a medical event we're sponsoring. It's a virtual event, so please register for this event and attend. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Medical practice software is too old. Indeed, all the programs are built on MUMPS, technology of the 1950s, and the programs cost too much money. Epic and Cerner cost billions of dollars. Meditech costs thousands of dollars too. In fact, that's why we created AlexiaHTC.com, a new and free EMR/EHR for doctors. AlexiaHTC.com is built for HIPAA. Yes, magical one-screen technology, ease of use, quick charting, amazing e-prescribing, tight labs integration, multi-office difference, because we believe doctors and patients need a break today. Be the first to test drive AlexiaHTC.com. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Act now. Call 240-350-1131. Alexia Care Corporation at AlexiaHTC.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.